Welcome to Viking Basketball with Tyler Geving. This is the Big Sky Conference Tournament Edition, and we will qualify this by saying this is recorded a few days early. The Vikings are actually leaving tomorrow to go on their final road trip of the season, but this is the only chance we get to talk to Coach Geving before the tournament starts down in Reno. And Coach, because of that, we're going to reference last week's two games because why not? The Vikings got some nice wins there. You'd had a little rough patch earlier, but you came and got home and got two wins, kind of turned things around, and you think that's maybe got the mojo back for this Viking team.
Let's hope so. I think anytime you win, I think that's obviously a positive for your team. But obviously, like the way we played on Saturday night, forcing 20-plus turnovers against Northern Arizona, and I think Thursday night we were around 19 turnovers for Southern Utah. So I thought our defense picked up quite a bit, led out to a lot of run-outs. And, the best thing about it with the construction noise in the back, as we hear that was also the last weekend here at the Stott for you and I there, Mike Lund.
That's right. It was our last game, and we should say construction is going on as we speak. You can probably hear it in the background. There's nothing we can do about it, so we're going to forge ahead here. And we're also going to assume, since this is recorded early, the Vikings will go into that tournament maybe on a 4-game winning streak. All right, let's talk a little bit about the team. At this point in the season, the most important part of the season is here now. How do you feel about where your team is at in terms of the things they're doing on the court?
Well, I think, you always want to peak, obviously, come February. And I think we've been playing well. Unfortunately, losing those overtime games hurt us a little bit. But to come home and get two in a row before we head out on this 12-day road trip, I think was crucial for us. So, obviously, these two games on the road, if we can find a way to, to win a couple of those or at least play well in those, I think that'll give us some good momentum going into Reno.
Okay, we're already going to assume the Vikings have won those games because you're viewing this after those games have been played. Once again, Portland State going to Reno. They're going to be playing on Tuesday. Don't know the opponent yet. Portland State can finish anywhere between 6th and 8th place in the conference as we speak. And so they could be playing either Southern Utah, Northern Arizona, or Idaho State. But I think you're going to say, Coach, probably it doesn't matter who you play.
It doesn't matter. I think you get to that time of the year, I think your mindset's just got to be whoever you're playing. You need to beat that team because it's lose or go home. So, whoever you're playing, you got to just be ready to go, get that win, and kind of survive and advance and get to the next round and try not to look ahead. And your goal's just got to be on that team on that given day who you're playing.
Okay, and it's a long week in Reno. Vikings would need to win 4 games to win that Big Sky Conference championship. What do you do as a coach to, you have to win the day of the game. You can't worry about what's coming next, but on the other hand, you also have to find a way to allow your team to play 4 games in a row. How do you prepare for that?
Well, I think it kind of starts, this week heading into, the North Dakota, Northern Colorado game. I mean, I think you got to, actually probably about a week ago we started managing it a little bit, making sure we have fresh legs and making sure what we're doing at practice, we're not wearing the guys out because you don't want to wear them out in February. I mean, the prize is coming in a couple of weeks, so we got to make sure we had fresh bodies, making sure we're taking care of each other, getting sleep, getting rest, all those good things. So I think all those things kind of come into play 2 weeks before you kind of even get to Reno. And then once you get there, you got to win and you just got to get ready for the next game. And once again, get your sleep, get your body right. And more than anything, I think this time of the year, you got to be mentally right also and make sure guys are in a good frame of mind. And I think if you're mentally right and physically feeling good, then you got a chance to win any game. Okay,
the Vikings played in Reno last year. It was the first time ever a neutral site for the Big Sky Conference tournament. Coach, how did you feel about that experience? Do you prefer that over a home site which had been used previously?
I do because, here we are going into the last week of the season and first place isn't decided. So, I think it makes it a little harder on you to prepare as far as where you're going to go or for fans. But obviously to have it in Reno and where you're going to be, every year, I think that makes a big difference. And I loved it last year. I thought it was a great venue. Obviously the crowds wish would have been a little bit bigger, but not bad for the first year, and I think they're going to be even better, this coming year. And hopefully we can just kind of continue to build on the tradition in Reno. But I'm excited to get back there, and obviously we played well there last year, so hopefully we can kind of continue that.
Okay, so the Vikings have been on the road already. As you're viewing this, they've been to North Dakota. They've been to Colorado. They're in Reno. 12-day road trip. If all goes well, it's a 12-day road trip. Does that mean 12 pairs of socks and 12 pairs of underwear?
You know, I don't. I have to do some laundry at some point. I don't know if everything can handle in my bag, but all the suits and all like that. But yeah, you got to prepare. I told the kids you're packing for 12 days, and hopefully you win it all and you come back home for 2 days and you're right back at it at the NCAA tournament. And that's just kind of the mindset we've tried to give the kids, and I think that's the way you got to approach it. And I think we've shown that we can beat anybody in this league, and we can lose to anybody in this league. So, but our mindset right now is, hey, we're packing for 12 days. We'll come home for a couple days and regroup.
And it doesn't matter if you win that conference championship, how dirty the socks are. You can always throw them in the laundry. So that's a look at Viking basketball with Tyler Geving. Big Sky Tournament Edition, Stott Center Construction Edition. Get all the information at govikes.com. Go there to find out what time the Vikings will tip it off on Tuesday in the Big Sky Tournament.